Joining us now, NewsNation political contributor A. Scott Bolden. He's also a former Washington, D.C. Democratic Party chairman and attorney. Good morning, as always. Let's start with the concerns about the weaponization of the department. And it comes most recently after the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey. What questions do you hope she gets asked this morning about that and others?
Well, a lot of questions about how that indictment came to be a target of their investigation, how Comey became a target, because, you know, the Republicans complained about weaponization under Biden and under Barack Obama. But here you now have evidence every day of the politicalization of DOJ by the president. The real question is, who is the AG? Is the president serving as the AG, or is the AG serving as the mouthpiece of the president? And what's driving independent investigations? And why are there so many ongoing public and private communications between Donald Trump and DOJ and Bondi and Patel? I mean, this is easy to identify politicalization and the lack of independence of DOJ, at least on the surface. And I would think Republicans and Democrats would want to explore that, whether you're defending the president or whether you're going to attack the lack of leadership or the lack of independent leadership of Pam Bondi. And don't forget about Epstein, and don't forget about all the court cases in regard to sending troops, if you will, into major Democratic cities. A lot to talk about. I'm sure they won't thoroughly get into it all today. Too much.
Yeah, well, they'll get into a lot. Let's go first with the Epstein files and the AG's handling of that case. I mean, the criticism has been transparency, but when we heard the FBI director, Kash Patel, ask similar questions during his testimony, he said, a lot of these decisions were made before I was in this position, and we are being transparent. Do you expect anything different from her today?
Probably not, or maybe more, because you see, the problem with Kash Patel and Pam Bondi is before they got into these positions, and while they were in these positions or being considered for these positions, they had plenty to say about the Epstein files. Bondi went on public and television and Fox News and other outlets and says, I have the file on my desk. I'm reviewing it right now. It all gets released. And so it begs the question, or lends the question as to, well, why not release everything now? And you get the hemming and hawing back and forth. So she and Patel have talked themselves into a bit of a pickle here, because they've learned as a public official, all that glitters is not gold, and you need to say less on social media and less to the press until you have all your facts in place. We'll see, because now it lends itself to distrust and mistrust, and it'll be interesting to see how she defends her way out of her public statements versus her private actions vis-a-vis the lack of release of the Epstein files, and why she has not met with any of the Epstein victims.
President Trump has been very clear he wants to tackle crime in big cities, Scott, and Chicago is one of them. We're seeing Portland, another target where the president would like to combat crime, but he's being met with some legal hurdles in doing so. The AG will likely get asked about the military being used, the National Guard being called into these cities. Your thoughts on this issue and legally speaking, with your background, what challenges she may face today?
Yeah, I'd have one question for Pam Bondi. Give me the legal and factual basis, a paragraph, maybe two, on how it is that the president has the legal authority to send in the National Guard or federal troops, or to defederalize the National Guards, whether it's in Texas going to Chicago or otherwise. Give me the legal and factual basis, because the thing about facts are they're real stubborn. As a former prosecutor and someone from the Chicagoland area, I can tell you that under Title X, you can never create a set of facts that would say there's been an invasion or an incursion. That's the first thing. The only, outside of Chapter 10, the only thing you have left is if the governors have invited federal troops in, and that hasn't taken place, which is why the courts, the federal courts, have been siding with the governors in the states and will continue to side with them. I think there have been a few decisions that have allowed him to do it, but that's pending hearings, if you will.